What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of my channel. My name is Yangji, and today I will be talking to you guys about the differences between driving an Uber and having a part-time job, mainly for college students, but for anybody who has a part-time job. And I want to compare the benefits of driving an Uber versus having a part-time job. Now, if you guys have not yet already, please subscribe to my channel as I will be coming up with regular new videos on how to make it as an entrepreneur and on your own. So be sure not to miss out on that. And if you guys are thinking about signing up to drive for Uber, you guys can use my referral link below in the video description and you guys get a bonus. So don't miss out on that as well. So let's begin. I have named top 3 reasons for comparing these two things. So I've had part-time jobs before when I was in college, and I'm not talking about the part-time jobs where you're getting internship experience or something that's related to the career that you want to get into, but I'm talking about part-time jobs where you're going just for the sake of making extra income, such as working at Starbucks. No disrespect to anybody who works, part-time jobs at some of these examples that I'm about to name. But, working at Starbucks, working as a customer service, working as, whatever else you can name at a restaurant. So I'm just trying to compare the benefits of these two and between driving an Uber and some of these part-time jobs. So I am going to go start with, number one, which would be flexibility. So I'm going to compare my experiences of having a part-time job when I was in college, which I've done quite a variety of part-time jobs, such as working at a bookstore, working as a customer service at an insurance agency, and some other ones I can't really remember, but those are the two that really sticks out in my memory while I was in college. Or I was working as a student job as well. So, I want to compare these experiences with the experiences I've had while driving for Uber. So, number one would be flexibility. So, when I was in college, there was really no flexibility in working a part-time job because you really have to be there at a certain time and you don't really get off until a set certain time. So, for example, I would have to be at my part-time job for about, 9 o'clock and then won't get off until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And there's no way around it. And, you have to be there for a certain amount of hours and you would get paid hourly. And that's that, it's just, very plain and simple. So there are times that I wish that I don't have to wake up so early just to get from my house to my part-time job, which would take sometimes 45 minutes of a drive to actually get there. So I would have to wake up around 8 o'clock, and sometimes I wish that I don't have to wake up at 8 o'clock. Now, let's compare driving an Uber. Driving an Uber, you can really literally be very flexible. So, anytime you wish to start, you can start. Anytime you wish to end, you could end. Of course, you want to have some discipline when you drive an Uber as well, because even though, you're trading that stability of that fixed hour paycheck for being able to kind of strategically go out and make money on your own and just being flexible with your own schedule. So with that said, with the trade-off for flexibility, there is also going to be, strategy involved and discipline involved, of course, because in order to make up for that fixed paycheck, you really have to think smart, or you're going to have to work harder in driving an Uber. So, you could be flexible while driving an Uber. You could wake up whenever you want. You could, start driving whenever you want, stop driving whenever you want. But the trick is, you really just have to plan your day accordingly, and you really have to be committed to getting paid to actually earning a quota. That's how you can actually make up for the same amount of paycheck for, in your part-time job that with a fixed paycheck with driving an Uber. So you could be flexible, but you have to drive strategically. You also have to be very committed in making that goal. So that is something to think about for you. Number 2 would be earnings. So this ties back to point number 1. For point number 1, you are going to earn a fixed paycheck. Sometimes you might get overtime, and that's pretty cool. At least, to me when I was a student. And when you drive an Uber, you have more of a potential to earn more, actually. This is based on my own experience, and I'm sure for a lot of other seasoned drivers, you guys can agree. If you guys have any feedback or thoughts about this point, please leave it in the video comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. But for driving an Uber, you could potentially make a lot more with the set certain amount of hours. So for example, if you go to your part-time job for 6 hours, you're going to make that 6 hours fixed rate, right? So, if you're making $20 an hour, you're going to come home with $120 gross paycheck before taxes. But with 6 hours driving an Uber, you can potentially work a lot. You can potentially earn a lot more. This is based on my own experience. If you work, just smart, you could probably be getting paid 100, 150, sometimes even 200, depending on the amount of tips, the search, and the quality of rides that you actually get. So if you work smart, like I said, you could potentially you can potentially earn a lot more with a set certain amount of hours that you put in for a fixed amount of hours for your part-time job. Number 3 would be interactions. So this is, this could be big or small depending on how you view and how you want to enjoy your part-time job. I've had some part-time jobs when, all I did was, just sit at the computer and really just type away a bunch of files and look at a bunch of files, which is super boring. I've had some part-time jobs where, you serve customers and you talk to them for like 5 to 10 minutes and then they hang up on the phone, or they just, they go about their day, depending on what kind of customer service part-time job that you actually work in. But, for me at least, it was you either get off the phone with them or you're done serving them and you never see them again. And, the interaction is very transactional. It's very, is very to the point. With Uber, it's kind of different. So everyone who gets in your car, you could choose to interact with them, depending on how the person is like. And, a lot of times, after almost 3,000 rides, I've had quite a bit of positive interactions. And, it could potentially be a fun experience because there are people who want to talk. There's also going to be people who don't want to talk. You really just have to feel them out. But I think, being able to get comfortable with having people in your car and just interacting with new people like all the time, it's very beneficial for something that you may want, if you want to get into something that deals with just talking and interacting with new people all the time. I think I've definitely seen an improvement in my just being able to be comfortable around new people and just being able to talk to them instantly, like, just the second I meet them. So it definitely has helped me a lot with, that type of skills. I think it will help with, if you're planning to get into sales, marketing, or even becoming an entrepreneur. So it's something that I really value, just being able to get comfortable with people just like instantly. And, the interactions, I think they're a lot more, just, it's more laid back than the interactions that I would get from serving customers in my past customer service part-time jobs. Correct me if I'm wrong, if like you've had customer service jobs that you actually have longer interactions or relationships with your customers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but just based on my own experience, they're usually very short interactions and they're very to the point interactions. versus Uber interactions. It's like, it's a lot more laid back. You get to like just feel the vibe of like the other person, and just, being comfortable with constantly having people come into your car and just talking to you, and just being comfortable with talking to them as well. So with these three things said, I've often been asked like which one would I have liked better. I think if I had the chance of, going back to college, which was like 8 years ago, and get to choose if I could take up a part-time job, like a part-time job that's not really career related to what I wanted to do, and driving an Uber, I would choose to drive an Uber just because of all the points that I have actually listed right now. It's, you can get up whenever you want. You have the potential to work, to earn a lot more if you're smart about it, and just being disciplined about it, and still have, just being able to interact with people in a more laid back kind of way, and just being, it's a very socially positive experience. So taking into all those 3 points into consideration, I would definitely choose Uber over having a regular part-time job. So this concludes my video of the comparison between these two. Let me know what you guys think, and if you guys are planning to drive for Uber, you guys can use my referral link below and get a bonus before you guys start after you guys start driving. Thank you very much. See you next time.